Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in this video I will show you how to install and configure DHCP server on CentOS 7. DHCP, also called as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, is a protocol that enable server to automatically assign IP addresses to the client machine. Client automatically gets IP from the DHCP server when it's boot up. So let's start and see how we can install and configure the DHCP server in CentOS 7. This is my CentOS machine, and on this machine I have configured the local repository because I'm not having any internet access on it. So let me show you the repository. So this is my repository. So let's first install the package for DHCP server. All right, our DHCP package is installed now. Now, as you can see right now on this machine, only one interface is available. Suppose if you are having multiple interfaces on your server and you want DHCP server to started on one of the interface, then you need to define the specific interface in etc sysconfig dhcpd file. This is the file, and here you need to add one line here like this: DHCP like this. So you have to define the interface name here with this argument: DHCP DARGS. That's right. So you can define it here. So I'm not defining it here right now because I'm only having the single interface. So let's start configuring the DHCP server. The main DHCP configuration file is dhcpd.conf. So this is the main configuration file. But this file is empty. By default, this file is empty. What we can do is we can use this sample configuration file to configure our DHCP server. Let's locate this configuration file, run command locate, and this is the configuration file. Alright, it's not showing. No, it's with sample, name sample. Okay, let's update the locate database. Now try to okay, here is the configuration file. This is the configuration file. So let's just copy the configuration file here. It's asking to overwrite. Yes, overwrite this file. Before overwrite, you can means keep the original copy of this configuration file before overwriting it. So now let's open the configuration file. All right. So this is the configuration file. is now it's showing the domain name. Just enter your domain name, or we are using example.com. The domain name server we are having two domain name servers in our environment. It's 192.168.0.31, and there is one more server, 192.168.0.32. so we are having two servers here. All right, the next is, these are the global configuration settings. All right, or we can do one thing as well. We can define our own settings here. You can just remove these entries. Just remove these entries. Or just comment out these lines. Oops, 1 minute. So let me use these settings. I'm just commenting out the others one. Just these lines. Let's start it from here. All right, now let's define the subnet here. Our subnet is 192.168.0.0. subnet mask. Just define the subnet mask. Range, I'm using from 50 to 100. Your domain name servers, like this. Then domain name, it's example.com. If you are having any router, just define it here. Then the broadcast address, default lease time, maximum lease time, it's the default one, so leave it as it is. Now the next thing is, if you want any static IP for a particular system, you can define it here with their hardware address. You can find out hardware address by running command. Let me show you. You can find it from here. So this is the hardware address, so just use this hardware address and define it here. Okay, not this one, just define it here and the fixed address, the IP address, or the FQDN number, FQDN name, fully qualified domain name. So you can define it like this. Like suppose now I don't have any system to define it here, so I'm just disabling it here. But if you want to fix IP for a particular host, just put it like this. Let me show you once again. Let me show you. Just disable these entries, disable this, and here you can define it like, suppose I am having any address like test, my host name, this is the suppose the hardware address, and you can define the IP address of that system like this 40. So in this way you can define the fixed IP address here for a specific host. So I'm just removing this entry. Right, so our settings are done now. So just save this file, and after it then run the service, start the service. Check the status of service. Status, it's running. All right, let's try to start one machine and check whether it received the IP address from this server or not. All right, as you can see here, it just assigned an IP address to one of my system. The system is client.example.com. Let me open the client machine here. All right, this is my client machine, and you can see here it says receive the IP address from the DHCP server, and even you can check in the logs as well. Here the IP50 is assigned to the client.example.com from this DHCP server. So in this way you can install and configure the DHCP server in your environment, and can check that whether your client machine is able to get the IP address from the DHCP server or not. So that's all in this video. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe my channel. Thanks and have a good day.